In this video, guys, we're going to delve into gold and we're going to do a top-down analysis on gold pair. All right, so and we're going to use wave analysis to demystify or to break down gold pair. Now, I'm a day trader, all right, and I believe in top-down analysis, even though you are taking trade in 15 minutes, all right, because we believe that if you can get a bias from a higher time frame, you will trade with more confidence and you have patience with the market to play out the way you expected. And the wave concept is the best concept that you can explore, and this is more like Elliot's wave. You also learn how to break down your chart using wave theory. If this sounds interesting to you and is something you are willing to learn, please subscribe to this channel and like this video, because we'll be releasing more content like this in the future. Now, the first thing we need to do is to first of all mark out our pattern, because Elliot's wave have established that every market moves in 5 waves: impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, and after which it has a 3-wave corrective structure before it starts continuing. All right, so now the most important thing is that this is a movement, between the price and the time. So this is the time and this is the price. All right, so the most important thing is to pay attention to the time where the more transaction happen, because where the transaction happens before the big move is where you position yourself to make the big money. All right, so let's dive into the chart as we demystify this concept. Now, looking at gold, what can you see here? We can see a clear impulse, correction, impulse, which is a trend. Gold is trending. Now, if you take a look from other charts and to know where it's coming from, there is this website called FX Top. FX Top here is telling us that gold has been trending ever since 1950 something, but in the long run it's still trending. So we're going to just focus on the recent data we have from the trading view to actually do our top-down analysis. So let's put a permanent trend line here, because gold is trending. So once we have put this, then we need to mark it so it can show on a lower time frame. So the visibility of this, then we start marking out the patterns. So what patterns can you see here? Currently I can see a clear 3-wave pattern here. So here we have a 3-wave, which is, let's label it as a corrective contracting flat. We have a contracting flat here. We also have a regular flat here. Don't worry, even if you don't understand, just pay attention to what we are doing. At the end, your whole stuff will make sense. We have a regular flat. Alright, so having identified that, now if you take a look on the movement so far from the monthly time frame, we can see a clear impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. From the monthly time frame, we don't have a clear setup or where the market is going. If instead we are seeing a completion of a move. So from the monthly time frame, we are not expecting to stay in a trade for a long time. All right, so that settles that. Okay, I wouldn't want to label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you can put that anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pick here. We have a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This regardless of the degree anyway. So that's what we have here. But we come to the weekly charts. From the weekly charts, we can see other patterns. So having identified this, so your job today is to know, when will this last move be over, or do we still need to have more push up from the lower time frame? That is, Do we still need to have more move before the market start reversing, or has it completed? So you need to focus on this now, because that's actually what you can see from the monthly time frame. So let's demystify this and see focus on, because we want to take a trade. We want to trade for today or for the week. All right, so here we have from the weekly chart, you can see a clear tree wave. We have impulse correction, impulse, which is in like a running flat. So let's label it running flat. Okay, so now but for learning purposes, if you go down here, you can also see some other patterns, just for you to have an idea of what you might be expecting. So here now we also have, before the market starts moving up, we have a clear movement here in form of a diagonal. So this should start from here. So this is an ending diagonal, okay? Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. So this one like ending diagonal. So let's label it just for learning purposes, because the market has way past this. So we have ending. All right, so let's move on. Also here we have contracting flat. Right, so while we focus our attention on the recent market data here, can you see any other pattern, within this move aside this running flat? Because that's where we are focusing our attention now. The answer is I can't really see much. So because of that, let's go to the daily chart. So from the daily chart here, what can we see? I can see a clear regular flat here. Regular flat. Okay, so that's the flat I can see clearly, and also we can't see much. So from daily chart, do we have a setup? Now we have a trend. We can mark it up here. Impulse correction, impulse. You can mark this trend. Okay. So let this trend be here, so that it gives us, can show us where the market is going. We're expecting this to reflect on the lower time frame. So let's go to the 4 hours chart. So from the 4 hours chart, we are seeing another internal trend. Okay, so but before then we have these flats here. So this is not the best of it, but it's a three-wave move, which is in form of running flat. So this is a running flat. You can label it too. Running flat. All right. So, and permit me also to put in the trend, because we have an impulse correction and impulse, so you can put in the trend, which actually is broken. Okay. So let's demystify this correction. Here. So from this correction on the 4 hours chart, what can we see? What pattern can we see? We can see a clear three-wave move, regular flats. We can see a regular flat here, and also a regular flat. Okay, let's label it here. regular flat. So I have regular flat. All right, so here now also you can draw in your trend. We have a counter trend here. You know, if you draw it from here, it doesn't make sense. Since this has broken below, you can bring it down and adjust it properly. You know, remember we use the last two impulses to draw our trend, whereby I have multiple trend. And at this point, you can put in your label. You know, I don't put a lot of labels in my charts, just because most times you might be wrong with the label, but the patterns is always right. So we have here W, X, Y, X, Z. All right, so this Z form can be here or can be here. All right, because you have impulse, correction, impulse, and this has actually broken this. So let's drop it here. So if you go to the 1 hour, from the 1 hour chart, we can see more beautiful regular flat. We have so I will stop labeling the regular flats here so that it will not cluster the charts. All right, so, and since this trend has been broken, we have seen a clear impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, 5 wave. So let's see how we can demystify this and see if it's ready to move up or move down. All right, so then we have from the 1 hour chart a regular flat here. We also have a regular flat here too. Okay, so let's come to this place. Can we see, even though I can see some, but that will be training. So let's go back to 30 minutes. From 30 minutes, you can go to 15 minutes. So from 30 minutes here, we can see a clear running flat here. You can see a clear running flat. All right. So, and also there is a regular flat. All right, so I think we have actually marked some of this. So if you can see from here now, we have more of can put this in a smaller. Okay, the same complex structure we have there, we are having here. We can put this in a lower scale. All right, just to put things in perspective. That's why I'm putting this so you understand where we are. Now I want to go back to 1 hour. From the 1 hour chart, we can see that since this trend is broken, what you should be expecting is a 3-wave move. After this impulse, correction will come, and after this correction, the next impulse will flow. All right, so this is the next a setup, a trade setup that might make a lot of sense. So because you have this in mind, now if you are coming to the lower time frame like 30 minutes, you know, we'll be looking for that trade. So on this pattern now, what can you see? Let's go to the 15 minutes. This is where we normally take trade. So from the 15 minutes time frame, put on this trend here. We can see that this is a complex structure, and whereby if you want to understand this structure, we have a more complex corrective structure, and after which this market higher to complete that move we saw up. Alright, so that is what we're expecting. So your trade setup today will be, depends on where you're watching it, after a 3-wave move here, you'll be expecting this market is to break this top. Before it's going to drop, we'll now see it dropping or still pushing. Alright, so that is how we do a top-down analysis using wave theory. Okay, because this is a system that is proven over time, is based on human psychology, human emotion, and all market participants. So if you're interested and want to learn something like this, kindly contact me using the information below this video. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to share this video and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video. Thank you.